You want to know how I got 7 new customers in 7 days? My name is Brian Couch, and I'm going to go over this exactly on what I did to get 7 new customers in 7 days. Basically, this is like my Facebook Live formula. Now, I say mine because I've taken something that worked and I've made it my own. What was that something that worked? It was Ray Higdon from Rank Makers, his 14-day challenge. I did that. I learned a lot. I applied a lot. It was awesome. If you guys have done the 14-day challenge before, let me know down in the comments. Just drop down in the comments that you've done that before. And also, I do have, this is the short version of the notes. I got the longer version of the notes. If you want the longer version of the notes, just write the word notes down in the comments and I'll send that to you. Okay? So, very first step to making a Facebook Live. So wait, let's start with intention. The intention of the live is to grow your audience over time, have more and more and more people respond to you, so that ultimately you have more and more people to follow up with, share the 10-day challenge with them, see if they're open to experiencing ketones, taking a reboot, whatever, and get a decision, right? Collect a yes or a no from them. And so with that intention going forward, the first thing that you got to know is if you look back at your wall and it looks like if you think about your timeline, your Facebook timeline as a TV channel, if it looks like the Buy My Ketones channel, that's no good. All right? And so you would need it, not saying never talk about ketones. I'm saying don't make it look like the Buy My Ketones channel, right? So if you think about your favorite station, you tolerate some of the ads, right? It's fine. Ads are okay. We're used to having some ads from time to time, especially if it's something that benefits somebody we care about, right? So if you watch Oprah and she shares, hey, buy this book, I really loved it, and you're a big fan of Oprah, maybe that book's going to become a national bestseller, right? So first step in the Facebook Live formula, this is an adaptation of Ray Higdon's 10-day challenge or 14-day challenge. Really, really fantastic. I think you can get on the list. Maybe it's 14daychallenge.com. I don't know. If you've done it before and you know the link, go ahead and put it in the comments. I don't get any kickback from that or anything. I paid for it with my own money, and it was awesome. I learned a lot. It was really good. So step 1 would be engage. What is engage? Liking, commenting, messaging, conversation with people. The 5 to 15 minutes before you go live, the quality and the quantity of people that you can engage with can help boost the amount of engagement that you get on your video. So that would be like likes and comments and shares and stuff on your video. So you could do the green light challenge. That would be a great one. If you don't know what that is, just go search this group for green light and you'll see the green light challenge. Do the green light challenge and like and comment on a couple of people's stuff real quick, and then you're ready to go. All right? Now these are the first 2 most important parts of your entire video. First most important part, having a good title, okay? If you don't have a title, people are going to scroll right by and they're like, well, I'm not going to jump on a video and try to figure out what they're talking about. Like, what's in it for me, right? You got to think in their head, when you see a video and you're just scrolling through and you see a video and it's somebody you kind of know but maybe not, and they don't have a title that pulls you in, is it going to stop your scroll and make you watch? That's the question. So does your title make somebody stop scrolling and start watching, okay? Second most important part of the video is going to be your call to action. So now you've got a whole bunch of people, as many people as possible that would be interested to stop scrolling and they start watching. But then if they just love your video, it's fantastic, and they're all about everything you're talking about, but you never CTA, you never give them a call to action of what to do next, then you just kind of let them, you let them go. You let them down. Because here they were listening to you, they loved what you were saying, and then it was over. That was the end of the bye, right? And that was the end of the live. Well, you just let them all down. They want to know, what more, right? They're interested. So the people that are interested will respond to your call to action. And so notice how I said call to actions. This is apostrophe S. That is because you want a bunch of them. You'll notice in the beginning of this video, I started out with like 2 right away, right? And the call to action I like is to leave a comment, and then I'm going to message the people who comment. Why? Because that gives me more engagement on my video. Now somebody, when they're scrolling through, they see a video that has a bunch of comments, a bunch of likes, a bunch of engagement on it, right? And so that can kind of help get the snowball effect rolling, okay? So you want to give a bunch of call to actions, like as many of them as you can. So here's what I like to think of it. If you think about like be a little bit ADD, right? All of a sudden I'm talking about something and then I think about something else like, and then I had a lot more energy that day. Maybe I'm telling a story about our time. I went to Fiesta, Texas with Lawrence Tam, telling our story about the time there, and I was talking about how energized I was and how great I felt, and I'm telling the story about like felt great, got all this energy, and we go to get in line at the Rattler at Fiesta Texas San Antonio, and it ends up being a 3.5 hour wait in line. So much so that we do the Rattler, and then we get to go one more roller coaster and we're done, right? That was like the entire day. 95% of the day was waiting in line. But good news is I wasn't like super starving the whole time because I've become fat adapted. If you don't know what that is, just write the word fat adapted down in the comments and I'll send you some information about that. But so that I could go right back to my story. You see that little call to action I throw in there? Right? I just mentioned a benefit of drinking ketones and something that I feel good about, or some kind of topic. Maybe I mentioned fasting, like, oh, and I was eating breakfast. I know breakfast at noon, right? It's because I've been doing this intermittent fasting stuff. If you want some information on fasting, just write the word fasting down in the comments. I'll send you all that. And then I can go right back to talking again, right? So just throw in these quick little 2-sentence call to action in there of what they can do to get more information about whatever. It's like if you think about there's a website out there called BuzzFeed, right? And you've probably been on BuzzFeed. Maybe you've taken some quizzes or shared some things about BuzzFeed. They're always giving lists, right? 7 ways to lose fat during the holidays. That would be an awesome title for a live, right? Good title, especially if it's during the holidays. Lose fat during Christmas. People are like, how do you lose fat during Christmas? 7 ways? I want to know. They're going to tune in. Then you're giving them calls to actions to type different stuff down in the comments so that you can figure out who's listening, who's interested, and you can follow up with those people who leave the comments. Okay? So you've engaged, you got the most amount of people possible on today, right? Tomorrow you'll have more. You've pre-engaged, you've got a good title, you're telling them what to do several times. And then what I do with the call to action delay. So these call to actions, I'm telling people just to drop like a single word, something that they can type really quick and continue to listen. And then from that single word, what I'm going to do is, like, let's say, so Hillary just made this intermittent fasting guide, right? And I could say, oh, my friend Hillary's got this amazing intermittent fasting guide. Just write the word guide in the comments if you want that guide, and I'll shoot it over to you. And then I could continue talking about whatever's going on in my video. When I go to give that person the guide, I'm not going to just say, okay, here's the guide. Enjoy. See you later, right? No, that person's interested in intermittent fasting for whatever reason. Maybe it's because they want to lose some weight. Maybe they heard about the energy. Maybe they just heard about the health part of it. These are all things that maybe they're open to taking a look at the 10-day challenge. And so what I do, this is directly from Ray Higdon, right? The CTA delay, the call to action delay. Instead of immediately giving them the little thing that I hung in front of them, I'm going to say, hey, I'll get that to you when I get back to my computer. And then I'll ask them a question, right? So tell me a little bit about, maybe it was about the intermittent fasting. Tell me, what do you know about intermittent fasting? How long have you been doing intermittent fasting? I'm going to start conversation. And then in that conversation, I can say, well, hey, I got a 10-day challenge I did a 10-day challenge that really helped me with intermittent fasting, that really helped me with becoming fat adapted, with not snacking, with sleeping better, with more energy, whatever it is that they were interested in. Are you open to taking a look? Very, very simple language. I'm not selling. I'm not pushing really hard. I'm just saying, hey, I've got a 10-day challenge, very vague 10-day challenge, that helped me with whatever their problem is. Are you open to taking a look? They're already having a conversation with you. They already watched a video of yours. They reached out. They commented on it. Everybody says yes. You send them the link, right? So that is like the whole thing. And then after that, see number 1, right? You go back and now you post-engage. Everybody that commented, you respond to all of them. Everybody that liked or heart, maybe you could shoot them a message if there's not too many people that commented, right? You can go and post-engage, and that helps you get seen by even more people. Now Facebook doesn't see that you're out there just ignoring people that comment, that engage. You don't want to ignore them. You want to go back and engage with them again. So back to the BuzzFeed. If you study BuzzFeed's headlines, they're very, very good titles. But you can do the same kind of thing when you're giving calls to actions. I can throw out a quick little BuzzFeed title, and when somebody follows my call to action, they type the word in the comments, I can then do this exact same process over again, right? Another thing to add on that would be that as you do this more often, maybe you'll have that video. Let's say I just made the video about the 7 ways to lose weight during Christmas, lose fat during Christmas. Right? And then I go and I make another video, and I'm talking about 5 intermittent fasting problems or 5 intermittent fasting pitfalls. Just study their titles. Search BuzzFeed for intermittent fasting and find a title that makes you want to read it, right? And you can actually take their exact thing and give that as a list of content. Maybe they have 20 ways, 20 problems, 20 pitfalls with intermittent fasting, and you can pick like your 3 favorite ones. And your call to action can be, hey, if you want more of them, shoot me a message. I'll give you the whole article, all of it, right? So, and then of course you do the delay and you chat with them a little bit about that topic and see if they're open to taking a look at the 10-day challenge. Okay? So that title, that call to action, what happens is if I have that video that says 7 ways to lose weight during Christmas or whatever, on my next video when I'm talking about intermittent fasting, I can mention, oh, and I did a video about 7 ways to lose fat during the holidays, and it worked really, really well for a lot of people. If you want that, just type the word holidays down in the comments. And so now I'm using not just Hillary's guide, not just our Facebook group, right? Hey, if you're not a part of a keto community, I got this non-judgy keto community, really, really awesome. If you want it, just write the word group down in the comments. I'll give you the invite to that group, right? So these little calls to actions, I can also give people calls to actions to like tell me that they want to watch my previous videos, okay? And so that's been helping a whole lot. Using the other videos that I made, I got a video about fasting, about keto, about losing weight, about having more energy, whatever these videos that you make, you can then use in your future videos. Maybe you have a list of the titles, the good titles that you made, and those good titles that you made, you can then basically just say that one line, whatever that title is. It's a really good title. And you give that and just tell people a call to action. What the title is, give them a call to action. They're going to be like, I want to know that. That's interesting. If it would have stopped their scroll, it's going to make them want to comment. And so that gives you more engagement to all the calls to actions that you give, a lot more comments, a lot more engagement on your videos, and then also people going from one video to watching your next video to watching your next video until eventually they're like, man, you've got it down. What did you do? And at some point, you probably share your story, maybe towards the beginning, maybe towards the end, wherever it makes sense in your video. Maybe not in every video, maybe only in some of the videos. You share your story, and they'll get to hear different versions of your story from different ways, and they really start to begin like they like you, and they want to do what you're doing, and they're like, what do you, how are you, you look great. What are you doing? That's awesome. I want to do it. And you'll have people reaching out to you about that. Okay? So that is all of it, I think. You want to engage, create the buzz before. You want a good title so that people actually stop and watch your video. You want a bunch of call to action for all different reasons, for things that people can get. Go check out BuzzFeed for great calls to actions and title headlines. And then you want to do the delay so you don't just give it away immediately. You say, well, hold on, I'll give that to you as soon as I get back to the computer. Tell me about this. Tell me more about whatever. And then back up to number 1 where you engage again. Okay? And you can use these videos to feed into each other. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them down in the comments right now. You rock. Have a good one.